Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of turbo debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, turbo debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/techtime. Again, that's turbodebt.com/techtime, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. TurboDebt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of Tech Time Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without any political agendas. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes, and of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We live stream doing our show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter/X, as we'll be talking about today.
Oh, no.
Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. My co-host here, Mike Corday, is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike's here to keep me from geeking out, providing insight into human behavior, how it interacts with technology. Mark Gregoire is here to be our whiskey connoisseur and expertise. He'll be providing our whiskey updates and talking about all of our whiskey we will be sipping on the show. We are 3 friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, is technology making us more productive? I know you're going to be talking about that, Mike. Is it or is it not? And how about, listen to this, how about scanning your eyeball for the Worldcoin cryptocurrency as you're applying to work for Company X? If this sounds like a Marvel storyline, then you are listening to the right show, because yes, all of this is happening now, and we're going to be talking about each of those items today. We also have Phil Hennessy back with our Chat About Chat segment, and a reality show has contestants surviving a zombie apocalypse. So buckle up now. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that. Yeah, they're going to be talking about that. So buckle up, tech enthusiasts, because here at Tech Time, we believe that a shot of whiskey and humor makes the technology go down in the most delightful way. Okay. All right. In addition, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, technology fail of the week, and a possible Nathan Nugget. And as always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Now, it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Elon Musk, Twitter is rebranded as X.
Yeah.
And kills
it just happened.
The blue bird logo. It just happened on your machine. On your machine.
On my machine.
It went from the Twitter bird to X. It happened when I logged into our Twitter account. It went from the blue bird to this ugly looking X. But now let's let's not talk about it. Let's listen to Ira Spitzer as he talks about what this has to do with our Twitter that we once loved and knew.
Well, it's bye-bye birdie, hello X. Twitter has unveiled a new logo. As Musk promised, the bluebird has been replaced by an X logo. Let's go live now to reporter Ira Spitzer in Austin, Texas. So, Ira, why has Elon Musk done this?
Well, we've had a pretty good idea that there was going to be a big change to Twitter coming at some point. When Elon Musk purchased the company last October, he said that buying Twitter was what he called an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. So now that day appears to have arrived, and Musk has long spoken of his interest and admiration for platforms such as China's WeChat, where people can do things such as buy things, use it as a messenger service, kind of do things with more features than at least Twitter as it was originally designed. There's a lot of intrigue now, of course, with this major company changing its name, but big questions as to how, what exactly the next move here is for Twitter.
And Twitter users, Ira, they've become quite attached to the platform. How are they reacting to the change of logo?
I think there is a feeling on Twitter of some annoyance about these changes, but I'm sure there are other people too who are excited to at least see what Elon Musk has in mind with this new X app, which apparently is the X era is now upon us based on what we've seen over the past 24 hours.
Ira, thank you. Ira Spitzer in Austin, Texas.
All right. So have you seen this logo? Let me just tell you.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay. I hope he paid no money for any design firm to create this logo. It's a white X on a black background. That is it.
You know that took a lot of people that got paid a lot of money
to come up with X.
up with that
has an open space. This is the most unoriginal icon or logo I have ever seen. I mean, I get that you're trying to be very
simple,
generic and what needs to be taken care of, but now all of a sudden your tweets have been replaced.
Are we going to?
They're now called X's.
Are we going to just?
So
are we going to
be
be running around Xing everything?
Well, just think you're going to be sitting there and your wife looks at you and what you're doing, and I'm sending messages. I'm sending all my X's out. So I was like, "What are you doing? You're sending out messages to your exes?" I'll be like, "Yeah," and I'm sending out all my messages on my exes. So horrible branding. But you know what? They have a new branding X that is now on the side of their building that you can look at night that does this. Musk was really excited about this. On Sunday, he posted an image of a flickering X on Twitter. And later in the Twitter Spaces audio chat, he replied yes when asked if Twitter logo would change. Twitter has made one massive impression and then changed the way they communicate. Now with X, we'll go further, transforming the global town square. Now, their idea, that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to become a platform where you buy stuff at. So they're trying to become Amazon. So they're
trying to do what everybody else is doing.
You're going to buy stuff from them. So you're going to be an Amazon platform. You're going to be a social media platform to send out tweets. I'm sure they're coming up with some X branding to do X pages so that they can have some type of Facebook equivalent. I mean, they are clearly hurting to pay bills, and now they're deciding to come out with their whole new...
I'm interested to see all the X Twitter users.
So I'll just tell you, Threads, you know what? I'm not a big Facebook fan. I'm not a big Elon Musk fan either. So I'm really kind of struggling here. But now you got Mark Zuckerberg that is like being handed to him the Threads people that are like, okay, we can understand Threads. It kind of makes sense. It actually has a standard logo. We'll just plop over to this platform. We'll forget this whole X and Twitter and everything else. I think Threads could have never asked for anything better than all this craziness that Elon's doing.
It might. This might be bad timing on the part of Elon.
Well, so then I was doing some research. This really killed me because do you know the original bird for the Twitter co-founder was called Larry? Did you know that?
As in Larry Bird.
That is correct. Named after the Boston Celtic legend Larry Bird. And they got rid of Larry Bird. And they replaced him with some X. So
They
all right.
replaced him with some X,
There
huh?
you go. That's what it is.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
he's feeling good.
Well, there you go. Story number 2. Mike, help us out. You're gonna make me feel good about myself in this one.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh, what's happening?
Hey,
What
do
we
you
got?
think technology is making us more productive?
Well, isn't that why we create technology?
I beg to differ about why we create technology.
Okay.
But
We make isn't technology
think-
the
you
whole
would
idea
think-
was you're supposed to be able to leave work earlier, be able to do stuff from the beach so you can enjoy the beach and all these atmospheres. That's the whole idea of laptops and cell phones, right?
presumably,
Okay.
But there's only one small problem with all that is all this new stuff that's supposed to make technology or productivity better
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be working out.
Uh-oh. Tell me more.
Well, we go back to 1974 to 2008.
Okay.
Productivity, or the amount of output you get per worker,
Yep.
okay, that grew at an annual rate of 2.3%. So that's where the computer revolution started, right?
Yeah. Mainframes in 74 and
Yep. So
2008. Yep.
So you got stuff going on, and then between 2008 and 2020, the rate collapsed to about only 0.5% per year.
Really?
So it went down,
Okay.
and in the past 3 months of this year, productivity has been down 0.6%.
Even more than that 0.5.
Even more than
the 0.5. So
before 2020.
Wow.
Now I'm sure that may have something to do with the pandemic,
Okay.
but nobody really knows for sure if this is true statistical probability or not, because one of the big problems is we don't know if they're measuring the correct thing. So
Oh, that makes sense because I mean, probably in the 70s to 80s or 74 to 2008, you probably were looking at certain statistics that you could pull from that, but it's probably tougher to pull the electronic statistics of productivity. Is that right?
yeah, I mean, one of these big economists has an example from 19th century industrial revolution that illustrates how productivity can be missed from the statistics.
Okay.
It's a study, 1885 yearbook of statistics for the UK. It's 120 pages long, most of which is about agriculture, and there are 12 pages on mines, railways, and cotton mills.
Okay.
Which, that's where all this stuff started hyping up. So you see that they still were focusing on the agricultural piece,
Okay.
rather than the production piece. So that could be it. There's also some other
Is it
theories.
so? Are they trying to look at how many widgets have been created? I mean, because that's what you go back in the 50s, right? It was all about how many widget X can you do. The Coca-Cola company, Ford, all of them did. How many vehicles were doing, and maybe the productivity is a little different now.
The basic measure is the amount of output you get per worker
Okay.
at an annual rate.
Okay.
And I don't know how they do that across all industries, but that's what they look at as far as productivity is concerned. It feels like there's a continuing to go through a huge period of innovation and technological advancement, but it may be that one theory is that we're using all this technology to avoid doing work, such as Xing
Yeah. Yeah.
or tweeting.
Tweeting and looking at
scrolling and everything. That
I mean,
I'm sure that's
there's
a factor.
so many employees on YouTube
I'm sure
now.
that's a factor. Okay. Another underlying factor that I don't know if they put a lot of thought into this is that maybe we're innovating so quickly that people can't keep up with the technology.
Okay.
So we're getting a big gap between those who can use the technology well and those who can't.
Well, we can take a look at Apple on this, right? So they're just now coming out with their virtual reality headset, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Quest has been out, and Meta has already failed in this field. So they kind of essentially decided to wait a little longer for the adoption rate. Sometimes with technology, it just takes a while to get that adoption rate to actually happen at the masses versus the slow amount.
Could be. Who knows?
Okay.
We may not even know for decades, because this is something that's just a recent sort of thing. It's from 2008 to 2020 is when things started slowing down quite a bit. I can maybe offer my own opinion is that maybe there's a time factor involved that we're not paying attention to, because no matter how many pieces of equipment we put in front of somebody, we still only work a certain amount of time per day.
Yep.
And human beings being what they are, they don't maintain a high level of productivity through all those 8 hours. In fact, the most productive average is about 6 hours, and then that goes up and down throughout the day as we take breaks or we chat with our neighbors or whatever. So there's a lot of factors going on, but I guess it comes down to whether or not this is a true measure of what productivity looks like, and what's going to happen in the future, and is all this technology really superfluous for our daily living?
Well, I mean, I love it because I'll just tell you, at night, I get an extra 2 hours of watching television in bed on my tablet, so I get that right. So I got my tablet watching. You got
a TV in your bedroom. Why do you have a
no,
tablet?
I actually, we have no television in my bedroom.
Oh, so
I just watch it on my tablet.
Oh, okay.
So I got that all taken care of.
Okay.
And so there you go.
All right. I don't know that that's what productivity is all about, though, but you go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. Well, let's talk about the next one.
Okay. All right. Story number 3. OpenAI, Sam Altman. He's my hero right now.
I know he's your hero.
He launches Worldcoin crypto project.
Oh, no.
All right, so let's go to Frederick Lima on the breaking story of what Worldcoin is.
Worldcoin, a cryptocurrency project founded by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, launched on Monday. The project's core offering is its World ID, which the company describes as a digital passport to prove that its holder is a real human, not an AI bot. To get a World ID, a customer signs up to do an in-person iris scan using Worldcoin's orb, a silver ball approximately the size of a bowling ball. Once the orb's iris scan verifies the person is a real human, it creates a World ID. The project has 2 million users from its beta period, and with Monday's launch, Worldcoin is scaling up orbing operations to 35 cities in 20 countries. As an enticement, those who sign up in certain countries will receive Worldcoin's cryptocurrency token WLD. Since only real people can have World IDs, it could be used to reduce fraud when deploying UBI. Altman said he thought a world with UBI would be very far in the future, and he did not have a clear idea of what entity could dole out money, but that Worldcoin lays groundwork for it to become a reality.
All right, so we got lots of...
How about that? We're actually talking about proving yourself to be a real human
So
being.
I guess we all live in the Matrix, right? So here's what we got going on. So there's a lot of acronyms.
Is he still your hero?
Yeah, he's still my hero, because if he pulls this off, this is the biggest pyramid scam ever, and he's getting attention, and people are like, oh yeah, this is fantastic. All right, so here's what you get.
I bet this has a lot of fundamental groups just going nuts.
It probably does. So you're creating a World ID with this. You get this big orb, and it scans your irises, okay?
Yes,
and after
it's a ret,
and it's going
retina.
around really predominantly in second world, not third world nations, but second world nations, not first world nations, but nations that are like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And what you get is a little certificate that you can then go log into that gives you one cryptocurrency from a cryptocurrency market that no one has heard about, that just got launched this week, out of the middle of nowhere.
How ironic all of this is? This is so ironic.
Now, this cryptocurrency is worth $5 now, trading on Bigtrix at $5 a freaking share on this fake stuff that he just created on Monday.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now, his thing is he wants to understand who humans are versus AI. So I am watching the new Marvel's Secret Invasion Wars, right? And so there are all these scrolls that are taken. I mean, I only can think that Sam is thinking that we've been infiltrated by aliens, and that this is the only way.
Is that where your brain goes?
That's exactly where I go. Because why the heck would you create this?
Now,
okay,
maybe you should dial it back there, Dr. Strange.
Okay.
We live our lives, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, we live our lives in a virtual situation. We are always online doing things. We are always online participating in surveys and transactions and things like that. So it kind of makes sense that we might want to have something in place that has that verifies. I can't believe I'm defending this.
Okay.
That verifies
that you're a human.
That you're an actual human being.
Okay.
Because I mean, look at the world that we live in with all the deep fakes that are going on, with all the privacy issues, all this stuff. It makes sense that we would need some way of verifying that you're a real user instead of clicking little pictures of fire hydrants.
Captchas, the little captchas you get. Okay,
which I hate.
Okay, so
I hate that
so
so
all right.
much.
So now he's doing this because he believes that one day
it's just going to come. The orb's just going to come on its own and be like
exactly.
Knocking
Take
on
pictures
the door
of
and be
it,
like, hey,
I need your
you open
retina scan.
It's going to be like Minority Report where they have the
exactly. The unit looks just like that. So you can find out more if you want to learn about Worldcoin, which I've never heard of before until this week.
Well, that's because it just came out. They just started
it's just a fake thing that people are already trading for. All right, last story because I had to throw in an extra one here. Story number 4.
No, you didn't.
With the U.S. actors and writers strikes this fall, TV lineups are going to be laced with reality TV.
I guess you probably lost some of that productivity we're talking about in the bedroom.
Okay. Well, okay. Hang on now. So, shows like Buddy Games. Have you seen that? Have you seen the movie called Buddy Games?
No.
Okay. So, there's a movie. So, they have reality show Buddy Games, Big Brother. These are summer junk shows that they essentially throw on in so you can watch something.
I really don't watch TV. I
this
hate
fall,
reality TV.
Because of the writer's strike and because of the actor's strike, these are now premiere shows. And you know what? Netflix is following suit with a new reality show where contestants survive a zombie apocalypse. If Squid Game's reality show was not dangerous enough, Netflix is going to go into its extreme area where they have an unscripted series about a zombie apocalypse. So here's the basic setup. A group of unwitting contestants gather to take part in a reality dating show, but things go terribly wrong, and they find themselves in the middle of Seoul, Korea, overrun by zombies. Together, they must escape the city and outrun the Walking Dead or risk becoming zombies themselves. The show will feature 10 different cast members trying to complete quests to progress to the next stage levels, and it includes some notable faces who will be starring in this non-reality apocalypse show. There you go.
Yeah,
what do you think about that?
That sounds like junk. That sounds like crap.
Zombieverse.
I'm not going to watch.
Starts streaming on August 18th. Now, you say that now, but Squid Game came on out and everybody's
I never watched that.
Okay.
I never watched that movie.
It's a pretty good type of deal. So it's not bad. So now Zombieverse is going to be on your added list here. All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have Phil Hennessy, our own TechTime AI reporting journalist on all things AI. Buckle up, tech enthusiasts, because we're here at TechTime Radio. We believe that a shot of whiskey and humor makes the technology go down in the most delightful way. All right, you're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Hello, listeners. We're excited here at Tech Time Radio, aren't we, Mike?
Oh, no.
We have an announcement to make. We are so excited to be a part of the new launch of iTalk Radio Live, the internet 24/7 streaming service. You will still be able to listen to us live here at Kixie 880 and KKNW and all of our affiliate stations, but you'll be able to listen to us at 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday now. We look forward to this new opportunity to provide you Tech Time Radio every weekday. And again, you can always catch us online at techtimeradio.com. Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time's a weekly hour technology show. Talk about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now we have Mark to tell us about what we are sipping in our pick of the day during the show. Mark, what have we chosen today?
We have chosen Ancient Age 10-Star.
Ancient. They're so great, they have to name it twice, huh?
That's right.
T-I-N.
Ancient.
It kind of tastes like a 10-star.
Okay, all right. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, from Buffalo Trace's website, they say it's steeped in history and tradition. Ancient Age Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey has been branded America's best bourbon. Baloney. Carefully distilled along the banks of the Kentucky River, according to the finest old traditions. Features aromas of corn, caramel, toffee, and vanilla. Follows through with many of the same, but with hints of spice and a lingering finish, hints of toffee and citrus. So it's from Age International, which is actually a subsidiary of a Japanese company. Distillation is, they claim it's ancient age distilling, but it's really from Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's a straight bourbon aged at least 36 months. It's 90 proof. The mash bill, it's the High Rye Buffalo Trace No. 2, but they don't tell you exactly what the blend is. And the price is Nathan Special.
Oh, what's that? What's the price point?
$13.99.
$13.99. I told you I even liked it a little
like
bit.
$13.99.
Well, you know what? This tastes really good.
So,
it doesn't have the
it's
aroma,
not bitter.
The
or
aroma
horrible.
is nice. The beginning is pretty good actually. When you first taste it, there's no long burn, but the finish sucks.
Oh yeah, it may, but it's $13, man.
It's like turpentine.
Now all of a sudden it's got a whole different value level, but it doesn't have a cork top.
It doesn't have a cork
it's
top.
a screw top, and it lives up to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Stay
thank you,
tuned
Mark.
for the mumbles or the
is
rant
actually
later.
All right. I'm sure it's going to be a positive pick here for. I'm sure Mark has
Are
this
you
on the
sure?
top shelf. I'm
That's
sure
a
that.
top.
That's
That's,
what, that's
I
right.
don't think that's a
I don't think
shelf.
so. All right. With our first whiskey tasting
Maybe in the
completed,
bathroom.
let's move on to our feature segment. Today, we welcome back Phil in a monthly segment called Chat About Chat with Phil. We have a plethora of exciting news to discuss and an inside scoop of what Apple is doing with AI. Join us as we embark on a fascinating journey into the future of AI. Once a month, Phil joins us as our technology robotics expert, bringing up our Comcast live stream now. We're ready to start Chat with Phil.
Welcome to the AI segment, Chat About Chat, with our tech time guest, my favorite humanoid, Mr. Phil Hennessy.
Phil, welcome back to the show. How have you been?
Hi, Phil.
We're doing good, keeping busy.
Keeping busy. All right. Well, that's fantastic. Well, you know what? We got a bunch of AI craziness going on. We got X things going on. I mean, this today's show, I literally internally just said living in the Matrix. That's what I really feel like. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but I'm sure AI is going to be normal. So let's dive headfirst into our AI segment. All right. First thing I have on here, are we on the brink of a future filled with Cylons? Now, Cylons are fictional artificial intelligent race.
I hope Phil knows what a Cylon is.
Hang on. Cylons are a fictional artificial intelligent race of machines from the TV show Battlestar Galactica. Now, Phil, explain to me about this Australian research team that has many people scared.
And Mike, I set him up for that, for the record.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Mary Poppins thing, that came from Phil, too. So I'm doing Mary Poppins from Phil.
Phil, I gotta say, man, I'm seeing some points go down.
No. You're doing fantastic. All right, so tell us
At least he's
about.
not talking about Star Trek.
Well, Star Trek.
There we go.
Okay, here we go.
No, this is really, to me, it's we're living in the future in sci-fi right now with this. It's coming to life. And Mike, we talk about this. I am interested really in your opinion on this because it's really quite interesting. So this Australian research team, they just got another round of funding to combine human brain cells with artificial intelligence using a computer chip, a silicon chip. The project involves cultivating over 800,000 living brain cells in addition to a computer chip and training them to execute goal-directed tasks. So we're going to talk about what those goal-directed tasks are, but basically what this system can do that normal artificial intelligence cannot do is lifelong learning. So the difference between our current AI systems right now cannot do lifelong learning. They do learn and they are trained, but there's a difference between that and the type of training and learning that this system they're trying to go with. And yes, Mike, we went there. This is the first baby Cylon.
Well,
Wow.
I gotta tell you,
What's that?
I got chills
You got chills? Why do you have chills on this?
because that's kind of a scary prospect.
Well, okay, so we're going to learn a little bit more about this. All right, so now let's talk about this thing. It's called the dish brain system, on how these Cylons work, right? So let's explain this because this is really interesting. I know Mark and Mike both will get a kind of a kick out of this. How are they training these Cylons with these computer chips?
Sure. So what they're doing is they're growing this level, these brain cells on a special chip, and they're keeping that chip in a nutrient bath, so they keep obviously the cells alive, and they're using computer-generated Pong. I'm not sure how many people know Pong and don't. We're getting to that point to test the abilities of this system. So it's quite interesting what they're doing with that.
All right, so talking about
these
Pong.
these are active biological neurons that are interacting with a piece of technology that is programmable.
That is correct.
So we're talking about.
This is like So it responds to stimuli. So sorry, go ahead.
All right, so talking about Pong. Pong is like 50 years old. It was created in 1972. So this is an AI that's 50 years behind us. So these Cylons are not advanced. Is that what you're telling me, Phil?
What I'm saying here, Nathan, is that it's we're in the world of sci-fi in the future, and it's going to be very interesting with this technology 50 years from now where it's going to be, because it's at a very nascent, very, very beginning, baby steps for that. That's what it's doing. And so as we talk about, Pong is a 2D video game many moons ago that has a little ball that bounces back and forth, and there's a little paddle that moves up and down to bounce the ball so it doesn't go off screen.
Yep.
So what they did is they trained with this chip, they can give electrical signals to the brain cells on the chip. So to keep it a positive stimuli, and I didn't know about this, Mike, so I'm curious what you know about it. It's called the free energy principle for psychology. I don't know if you heard about that, but basically it's when the brain is expecting positive organized signals versus white noise. So they give it very organized signal for a positive effect when the paddle hits the ball. And when it's not, they give it a disorganized signal or white noise. And so they're able to train this system with silicon and biological brain cells to be able to start controlling this paddle up and down and keep the ball where it's supposed to go.
So it's kind of like a Pavlov's dog type of deal right here. Is that what
Exactly.
you're kind of doing?
Well, kind of. I mean, the human, the brain or the organic brain is really a predicting machine.
Okay.
And what he's suggesting here, what he's talking about here is that the free energy principle, the brain predicts things that may happen so that it conserves energy by having it pre-prepared, I guess is a good way of saying.
Yeah, well, it's just a lifelong, because they want to get into learning, right? So this will be the learning piece, whereas for that. And so they're able to do that, and they're able to actually have success with this. And, it wasn't perfect by any chance, but the level of performance was pretty impressive, considering that this is only a little bit larger than a cockroach's brain, is what I understand.
Wow.
In terms of that. So it's where the future's headed. I mean, this is, like Mike said, it's kind of chills. I mean, we're joking about Cylons, but this is real happening now. I never thought I would see this in my lifetime. And, the future of AI is just going crazy right now. You see something every day of stuff going on a daily basis. And this is one of those things that's way out there. Go ahead.
I mean, I think we can almost consider this to be true cybernetic, right? Is this something that you can truly, it's not a piece of technology that is enhancing. It's a piece of technology that's existing in a symbiotic relationship.
It wouldn't work without it. Right. It's symbiotic.
That's what's scary about it.
It is, absolutely. Now there's some, let's just go through some quick stats on this AI statistics, right? So AI is rapidly growing. Phil, you sent over this huge list of all these statistics. So give me a couple of these for our audience that tells us a little bit about how AI is just blowing up in the space in this last 6 months.
Sure. So right now the market cap is around 86.9 billion in revenue last year, and they think it's going to get by 2027 407 billion. That 64% of companies anticipate using AI and will boost their productivity, which is very interesting based off what Mike you just talked about. So I'm very curious what they're actually testing and what we'll be doing, because AI will be doing some of the jobs in the future. So does that get counted in as a human or not? How do you do the productivity? So that's another whiskey shot, I think.
Another shot of whiskey right there. Now, a lot of consumers are concerned over the AI's false information. Is that kind of still trending in that AI model?
Yeah. So, I mean, right now, 61% are either ambivalent or unwilling to trust AI. But one of the really interesting things that the study showed on this is that they are more apt to trust it in healthcare than for like human resources, which blows my mind because, basically what it's a predictive engine that's going to say, hey, I think you might have a tumor on this MRI or whatever. And it can be wrong. You can get false positives or false negatives and maybe a smaller percentage, but it's going to cause for the human annotator, inspector, the doctor is still going to use it. They still have to, hopefully they don't get lazy. And that 0.01% they might have caught before, they're not, because they're going to get used to the AI finding it all the time.
And that's the problem right there. That is exactly the issue.
So James Riddle talked about that last week, right? With the embryos creation?
People, that's what we do. We get used to something, and then we get lazy. It's like driving. We how many people forget we're hurtling down the highway at 60 miles an hour in basically a half-ton
what do you mean on 60
machine?
miles an hour? You go 75.
It doesn't matter. We're hurtling down the highway in a death machine, and we're playing on our phone.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I see that all the time.
That's because, and that's we are going to start making. We are really going to allow something like an AI to make decisions, and the more decisions we allow it to make, the more we're going to take those decisions.
Hopefully it's doing better in the
rote.
Pong. Hopefully they move from Pong to Super Mario Bros.
I hope it fails at Pong.
Okay. Well, it's not failing. It seems like it's doing really well right now.
That's what's scary about this is that we can actually create a quasi-organic being with this.
That's why we need to have orbs that scan our eyes to make sure that we're okay and we're.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mike. Would you fly in an airplane that was totally autonomous?
No. I wouldn't. I wouldn't drive the car either.
Yeah, but that's what they're working on. They're working on virtual co-pilots, so they only need to have one pilot in the airplane for commercial. And so, what happens if that person has a heart attack?
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how money just dictates everything that we do.
All right, well, continuing on, Phil. Let's talk about Apple. I know you got some inside scoop here regarding Apple. What is the Apple release? What's going on with AI? I know they cannot stand the word AI, so they just call it machine learning. But what's going on with Apple's release of their AI?
So, two things. One is there's rumor on the street that they're going to come out with their own large language model like ChatGPT. So it's coined right now Apple GPT. The question is, what are they going to do with it? And I think we're getting hints with iOS 17, like you talked about there, is that they're using a neural engine, which is another word for AI, to do live voicemail transcribing, which is going to be better entirely on the device, though. The thing that's different is it's not in the cloud. Everything we're talking about is on the device. So that means they've gotten very efficient in their processing power and in their models to do that. And the other thing is that it's going to be on the device as well, is they're redoing their autocorrect feature. Thank goodness. And that's also going to be all machine learning and on the premises or on the device as well, on the phone. And then the last one is brand new. And this is, you talk about predictive analytics and everything else. Journal is a new app that will help you do journal prompts for journaling for mental health and everything.
Okay.
But it takes in, I haven't seen it yet. Okay. So this is what I've read. It takes in where you were, what you did, pictures, phone calls, whatever. And then it gives you a prompt for maybe you want to write about this.
Oh, wow.
So it's
going to know everything. Okay. At 3 o'clock, you had a meeting.
Facebook ad.
It's going to be, I'm sure they're going to probably be better than Facebook. So at the end of the night, you do your journal. It's going to say you had a 3-hour phone call. It's going to know
you want to talk
with your
about
parents.
So-and-so, right. You want to talk about that.
So talk about that now, and then we're going to log
based
that
on the
journal.
conversations you've been having lately.
Oh, man, this is just,
we would recommend this.
This is just like a Starfleet communicator when they.
So you get more productive in journaling, Mike. You just have to say, "Hey, write this journal for me."
Well, that's what I do. I just type, "Hey, write me a journal entry in ChatGPT," and it takes down it just tells me everything that's going on. And then because I'm human and am lazy, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's what I did."
So then you got a whole new life.
Yeah,
your journals.
I do that while I'm driving.
as you're playing a game on the other side of your app, right? So the two things.
No, I think that's too dangerous.
Okay, all right. Well, Phil, we got to close up. We want to thank you for being a part of the show, and we do look forward to our next time on Chat with Phil Hennessy. Now, Phil, any information you want to give us for our next show that we're going to be talking about? Any leading?
Honestly, Nathan, you can't keep up. I have no idea what's coming next. We're gonna have. Okay. I mean, Apple's self-driving cars. I mean, who God only knows. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. But I would, and this is something I'd love some feedback from your viewers on. Does anybody want to know a little bit how AI works? I would love to talk about that. But if it's something that's not interesting to the audience, we don't need to. But it's because
we'll ask our audience. I'll send out a request if they want what they want to talk about on the AI aspect, and we'll get you that feedback. That would be
great. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much, Phil.
Bye, Phil.
All right.
Have some drinks.
Only on TechTime Radio can you get your technology news on the science of tomorrow with the technology of today. Now, that ends our segment.
Are you serious?
Chat with Phil Hennessy. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side. I will see you after this commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right. We're going back to July 24th, 1950. The first rocket launch from Cape Canaveral. It was the first successful launch that occurs at Cape Canaveral with the rocket Bumper 8 that was captured from a German V-2 rocket. And it was also then modified with the U.S. Army Corporal second stage. Cape Canaveral's location in the southeast is an ideal site for the rocket launches in the United States. By launching eastward, rockets are able to take advantage of the linear velocity of the Earth's rotation. This velocity is great towards the equator, making the southern United States preferable. And by launching toward the ocean, away from populated areas, safety downrange from the launch is maximized in case of problems. Now, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history, with over 2 years of video, podcast, and blog information, you can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join our Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live all the time. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you then.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right, mumble about this one.
Wow. It's been a long week.
Well,
waiting to get back to you two.
Okay.
It's like licking a shag carpet.
Well, first, before we get to the whiskey,
okay,
what's today?
Oh, today. I have no
idea.
Today is
licking a shag carpet.
I have
day.
no idea. What you find? I mean, it could be like air conditioning birthday club or something like that. I have no idea.
No. It's always fun things.
Okay.
It always matches the whiskey.
All right. What is it? Oh, okay.
It's like this day of today and whiskey. They go together.
Don't tell me it's the Age of Empires Day.
No.
Okay, I was going to say, that would have been pretty cool. The ancient age. You see that? Oh.
Ancient. Yeah, try it. Stop trying.
Okay.
All right.
Stop.
So it is Carousel Day or National Merry-Go-Round Day.
Wow.
Okay.
So the holiday was
I'm not
created.
sure how that.
Well,
unless
what
we're
does that
talking
go
about,
around on the
unless we're
ancient-
talking about how this makes you nauseous, I don't know.
No, the holiday was created by the National Carousel Association as a way to mark the registration of the first patent carousel design in 1871. However, carousels are not exactly a modern phenomenon, as their existence has been traced to 500 AD in the Byzantine Empire, where ancient drawings depicted a fascinating carousel style.
Okay.
Too bad they didn't have the liquor to go with it.
So let's move from the ancient Byzantine Empire to ancient age 10 star.
Okay.
At one time, ancient age did carry a 10-year statement.
Oh.
The 10 is still in the label, but it is over the word star and has zero relationship to age. This is a lame marketing move to keep a number on the bottle and fool people into thinking it's still 10 years old.
Oh.
Now, what's interesting for those out there,
Maybe it means it's going to be 10 years till you try to taste it again.
Or it takes you 10 years to get through.
Takes you 10 years to get over it.
Hey, no comments
sorry.
on thumbs up or thumbs down.
Okay, sorry.
So did you guys
I give it
know
a thumbs up. No.
this is the same mash bill as Blanton's?
Really?
It's a high rye mash bill. All the following bourbons are made from this exact mash bill.
Okay.
Ancient Age, of course. Rock Hill Farms, which is delicious. Hancock President's Reserve, delicious. Blanton's, delicious. Elmer T. Lee, very nice. And Virginia Gentleman. Technically, any barrel made with this mash bill can become any one of these bourbons.
So what happened to this one?
Well, some people say Ancient Age is virtually the same as Blanton's.
No
Unfortunately,
way. This does not taste
they
anything
are
like
wrong.
Virtually, that just means that it's illusory.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's no.
So for you astute viewers and listeners out there, this whiskey is young, very, very grain forward, and a bit high in the ethanol. Bottom line, it's begging for more time in the barrel. Now, if you happen to stumble across an Ancient Age that is actually 10 years old, and that's ones that they stopped that in the early 2010s,
okay,
that's a different story.
Oh,
it shouldn't be filtered through a rusty radiator either.
This is. I may actually spend $19 and skip the $13 bottle. Not saying that's what I'm doing.
I'd only buy this if I only had $13.99 in my pocket and nothing else in the future.
Okay, hey Mark. Thank you for that,
This
Mumble.
was his last desperate. This is the last desperate drink Mark's ever going to take.
If he's on a desert island and he's got $13,
I don't know if I would clean my paintbrushes.
I may buy a Canadian Mist at $9 a bottle, so I have a little bit left over. All right,
it's not as bad as that.
Okay, that's
okay.
True. All right,
let's move on.
All right, well, you know what? Whiskey and technology are a great pairing, just like the pairing of Mork and Mindy, right, Mike? All right, now let's get ready for our Technology Fail of the Week, brought to you by Elite Executive Services, technology experts to help you out of a technology fail.
We are out of time. Congratulations, you're a failure.
Oh, I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, so here we got our technology fail. What was that? Why is your hand over your mouth? Was I online when we were saying that? Okay, oops, there you go. All right, well, okay. Let's talk about our technology fail. Sometimes if your microphone isn't on mute, you get to hear the back end stories of what we're talking about.
You can hear our fails.
That's right. What was that? It's our
Mark's not even on the radio here.
All right, so our technology fail is that our mics were still hot. Now, we're going to go to the city of Albuquerque, who spent thousands of dollars on failed technology. The city spent tens of thousands of dollars to put gunshot detection technology inside the Sunport, which is their big arena that they have down there. Nearly 5 years later, an Inspector General report revealed that the tech still isn't operational. Well, the Inspector General's report placed a lot of blame on the company behind the non-functioning gunshot detection system. The CEO of the technology said he disagrees with the city's report. According to the report, the city's aviation department purchased the EAGL shot detection technology for $80,000 plus in the year 2018. That technology was meant to focus on the areas high trafficked inside the Sunport, such as baggage, claiming tickets, and the Great Hall area that was available for them to get. But the IG reported saying that the system never passed all of its certification tests. The city deactivated the system in 2021, and since then, it's been set unused. This, again, is a failure of implementation. Anytime you have a product, note self number one before I go on to my nugget. Make sure you have a testing period of 3 months prior to any major technology purchase. If you're going to say you're going to try out a new technology, make sure you spend the time to deploy it correctly and make sure you have your engineering team there to make sure it is deployed as taken care of instead of purchasing it and deploying later.
So this is a problem.
Fail
with
on
how
the
it's
city.
Implemented.
Correct.
Not the fail that it actually doesn't detect.
There are two
what it's
sides.
supposed
One
to.
side says it works, the other side says it doesn't. But you know what? Instead of them working together on the implementation, they decided to purchase it and implement it later. Don't do that at all. All right, we're going to head out no, we're not going to head out for our last commercial break. We're actually going to go right now to the Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, brought to us by Story Coffee.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com.
All right, Mike, let's
Because
talk
he's
about
Nathan.
this. All right, so scanning an eyeball is this week's Odd Duck. Why do humans fall for or even elect to do crazy things like this?
What do you mean?
Well, the idea of going in and having your eyeball scanned by this orb to get these fake cryptocurrency or to get cryptocurrency that doesn't really exist out there. Why do people fall for these stunts and why do we want to do these crazy things?
Well, I don't know if I would classify it as crazy.
Okay.
We have a unique perspective on the world, and it's due because of our complex neural system.
Okay.
We can imagine things, and as far as I know, no other creature on Earth is able to do that. So we're able to do. The problem is that our brain does not understand what's real and what is not real.
Okay.
Okay. That's why we, schizophrenics have difficulty with hallucinations. Why you experience it as a dream that you feel is completely real, is that when your brain gets input, it has to use your consciousness to decide whether or not it's real. And then it's going to do your body. So this kind of stuff is fake.
Yeah.
It's fake, but because we can interact with it, because we can track the way we do things. Like if I go online and I click a button and I have this thing that says I have a piece of Worldcoin or whatever it is, that's real. That becomes real in my perception or my world.
Okay.
Okay. So if this person is telling me that I just bought this product from, hey, we need to verify that you're actually real, we're going to send this orb over and it's going to take a retina shot of your eyeballs, and that's going to tell us that you're a real human being, people are probably going to be like, okay, sounds fine to me. I mean, I have to produce a birth certificate and all these other documents for a passport. Someone scanning my eye with a freaking big giant orb. That's not something.
Maybe it's not as crazy as I think. Then, huh?
I don't. It's really not crazy in the sense that we use it, but we really need to question how we go about implementing these things. Like you just said, these things are just going in and not being implemented at all. With the testing period, we're just blithely going along with whatever comes down the path. So
I got you. Speaking of crazy, let's go to the Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, this is crazy, though. Microsoft has created a pizza-scented Xbox controller and a part of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle marketing campaign. And fairly, most controllers give out probably a sweaty smell after hours of gaming. I know mine does.
I don't know. I don't smell my.
Okay, well, mine sometimes gets really sticky. But Microsoft has now created what they are calling the Smells Like a Pizza controller, the first ever pizza-scented controller, as part of the marketing for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie. Microsoft has designed the custom TNT Xbox controllers that has a scent diffuser strapped to the back in the shape of a slice of a pizza. There are 4 different flavors you can smell for this pizza-scented controller.
So this isn't like Scratch or Sniff or the Willy Wonka where you got Grandpa
You have a
Joe going
diffuser
to
in
town
there that's going to smell like pizza.
on the snozberries.
Like a pepperoni pizza, a meat pizza, cheese pizza. All right, there you go. The only way you can do this, though, is by entering an Xbox Game Pass on their Twitter account, which is now known as X.
On their X account.
That's right. All right, let's go and do our whiskey pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right, what do we have we're tasting today, Mark?
Ancient Age 10-star.
All right. What are you giving
I'm going to give this a thumbs up.
Are you going to give it a thumbs up? No, thumbs down. I think this will be a thumbs down all the way.
It got worse the more it did.
I'm just glad you only gave me a tiny glass today.
So that you didn't have to taste
and usually
all
I
of this.
finish up you guys' extras,
You didn't
but not
even
today.
finish yours.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
No, this is like turpentine. So you
I don't know. For
I
said it earlier,
$13,
but I don't know if I would clean my. I don't know if I clean my paintbrushes
for backup gasoline in case you needed something.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't.
cheaper than gasoline.
No, I don't think I would put that in my gas tank.
Well, it's not as harsh as some other ones.
Okay.
I mean, it
does have its.
All right, well, let's go
perks.
celebrate this off the air, fellas. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Stop repeating that. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.